Hello, everybody. I'm Mike Berg with the Media Ministry team here at St. Paul's, joined today with Tom Bertelsen with the Stewardship Team. And this is I believe, the fourth episode of the podcast based currently on what questions that the Stewardship Committee put out to the congregation over the past, well, it was about a month ago now. This week, we're going to cover question 3 with Tom and I, and just to remind everybody of what the question is. What acts of kindness have you witnessed at St. Paul's, big or small? This was the question. This was the third question in the series of 4, and we ended up with one response, and has got some other kind of responses from talking to people that he's captured. He's going to talk about. But let me read the one response that we have. The response goes: the trunk or treat for the kids was full of Jesus' kindness and thoughtfulness. Everything from the decorated trunks, the hot dogs, the cider, the candy, the cupcakes, the portions. Made somebody had dry ice in one of their displays, showed the kindness with children. As a parent, this person was absolutely wonderful to see the extension of God's love and service to the children in a way that they will remember for a long time to come. So that was the one response we had. Probably came in right after the Halloween trunk or treat thing. I know I was involved in that, and it was. I think it was the first time the church has ever done something like that. Mm-hmm. And it's always fun, I think, when we can do things that are not only church related, but we reach out to the younger generation and give them other reasons to come onto the property, come on to church and interact. You know what your feeling about that is, or
yeah, I agree that it's not all about just the church and the church service itself, but being approachable and relating to others, and some of us are very good at, and others have to work at it.
What other? You got a kind of a list there.
I do.
Some other things that you've observed over the.
Yes.
You told me earlier you've been going to St. Paul's for 9 years.
9 years.
And how long have you been on the stewardship team?
It's going to be 3 years.
3 years now. Okay.
3 years. Right.
So this is just kind of some observations over the past 9 years that you've kind of seen acts of kindness. So tell me about a few.
Great. I'd like to go back to the beginning, and the trunk or treat is a great opener because candy played a part on our first Sunday at St. Paul's. The candy man at that time, who was a real welcoming host, said, "Do you want some candy?" Great. I felt right at ease from that point on, and what followed were a lot of spontaneous, unprompted, welcoming introductions by members of the congregation.
And that candy dish still sits in the back of
as
you walk in the back door of the front door of the church. I think in the back door because we're on the other side of the building, but the front door of the church that faces Market Street on your right-hand side, that dish still sits there.
It does.
With a marker to the candy man. Mason was the last name. I can't.
Billy Mason.
Billy Mason.
Billy Mason. Yeah, he was unforgettable.
And that dish has always had candy in it every time I've walked in the last 3 or 4 years. So.
Yeah, and there's some stocked underneath as well. Yeah, and what followed after that was as we got to know some more people in the congregation, there were invitations to go out to brunch, which meant a lot to us. Mm-hmm. Later on, there's been other examples of support, and I'll name a couple of ministries that were important. Mm-hmm. The prayer group was a major help at a time following 2 surgeries. Being lifted up in prayer 4 times meant a lot.
And that prayer group's still meeting every Wednesday night. I believe it's at 5 o'clock. 5:30 on Wednesdays. And I know I've gone to a couple of the meetings, and I've worked with people on a couple of projects, and it's another example of the things that go on here. There's so many different. I talked with Bob about this. There's just so many different things that go on at this church. It's hard keeping track of everything, which is a good. That's a good thing to have so much going on. That's why we do so much work in trying to get the information out to people, and then this, and it's also forms of stewardship, because it all comes. It's sometimes stewardship. I think people always kind of think about it's a money thing only, but it's not just a money thing. There's so much more to it.
Well, time and talent.
Right, and something as simple as, I mean, look at how the candy, something as simple as a candy at the first time you're there. Look at how that still resonates with you 9 years later. Right, that's you don't realize how these little things, but that's a ministry. Giving out candy is a ministry. So anyway, so you got some other.
And another one of caregiver team 2, sending out get well cards, about 4 of them, to support my wife at a time. You know, she's between surgeries, and I just reminded them, we'll see you in June for more support when the time comes.
Well, my wife and I just went through that too, because Pat had to have some eye surgery, and the cards were coming in and all signed, and it was very special to the both of us. To
Similar
Pat,
experience.
right? To Pat, because she was going through the surgery, and then me as the husband, supporting it, knowing that you're not in these things.
You're not alone.
No,
You're not
and
alone.
that's what I spoke to when I spoke in church that one Sunday. I think on Reformation Day, was that we're not in this alone. It's all of us together with all of these more of your examples. So keep going.
All right, a couple more here. Let's see. Passing by the going from the administration building into Kiever Hall, that side door. There was I was pretty much overwhelmed by the volume of bags and boxes for the Mother Hubbard.
Yeah, that's become. We started that, I believe, at the beginning of this year. I think is the second Tuesday has become Mother Hubbard, and that talk about that's just the congregation has just kind of latched onto that, and it's great. I've been down there with Linda Evans a couple times, and seen that they got a heck of an operation down there. Very organized, very for people that are able to take advantage of it, and yet another form of stewardship.
It is. Well, it's impact by everybody, by many people participating. 100 gifts go a lot farther than one gift.
Right. And I tell you, when I set up the links for that on social media, that to this day is the most clicked on link that we've set up. It's a shopping list for Mother Hubbard. It's the most clicked on link we have, because I use it every month. And every month I get everybody, oh yeah, that's right, and I can just see them at Costco or Publix or wherever with, oh yeah, let me click on that, and there's the list right there in front of you. So that's.
And I guess one final note I could offer is that there are gifts that will remain secrets, and the only one of the 5 W's you know about is where it happened, not the other 4 W's. Forget about it. Only God needs to know that. So
just so for people, the 5 W's. Go ahead and go through those.
Who, what, when, where, and why.
And the only thing we know is the where. The where.
Forget about the other 4. Only God needs to know that.
And there's anonymous gifts.
Yep.
I think at every church. I know that I've heard of them here, and there's also the anonymous gifts of money. There's the anonymous gifts of time, anonymous gifts of talent that we don't always. Don't get to highlight all the time, but just as important as Mother Hubbard, but thank you. I mean, that's the taking something as the candy story is going to resonate with me. That still strikes you 9 years later. Because I've seen that dish, but I didn't. But that wasn't the dish was there when I started coming here, but the candy man. I believe it passed on at that point.
It's relatable and puts people at ease and brings out a smile. Yeah, that's what we love to do here at St. Paul. Yeah. So this is that takes care of episode 3. I'm going to be joined with Rick Struck for episode 4, and we'll look forward. That'll be the last question in the stewardship series, and we look forward to finishing up the series at that point. So until next time, Mike Berg, Tom Bertelsen, and thank you. Yeah.